Canes fan, what's going on? Yeah, I got my Mopar hat on because all my Miami Hurricanes, my Miami Dolphins, and all my Miami Heat memorabilia, all that stuff is still in boxes, man, for my move. You know what I mean? So I haven't got it set up yet. I got a question for y'all, man. And the reason why, listen up, Canes fan, and the reason why I'm asking this question is because I'm watching, it's halftime, and I'm watching the UNC versus Wake Forest game, the Thursday night football game, Friday night football game, UNC versus Wake Forest. And right now, Wake Forest is beating UNC 21-0 at the half. UNC, a team that we struggled against and lost to, okay? We struggled against and lost to this team last week, all right? And, I want to know, it's kind of disheartening. So the question that I have because of that, and looking at what this team is right now, is Miami Hurricane football irrelevant? Is it irrelevant? I mean, yeah. Let me ask you: is Miami Hurricane, the product that we put on the field, is it irrelevant? And the reason why I'm asking this now the brand, the U isn't irrelevant, and I think the large reason because of that is because of what we've accomplished in the past, what the Hurricanes have accomplished in the past as a football team, with the 5 national championships and all the records, and the fact that Miami Hurricane alumni have done so well in the NFL. They've done so good in the NFL, multiple Super Bowls, Pro Bowls, and in recent memory, high ratings in the Madden football games. Miami Hurricanes football is relevant as a brand because of what it's accomplished on the next level. Because even over the past 15 years, some of the horrible teams that have been fielded out of Miami, they always send about anywhere from 3 to 5 to 6, 7 guys to the league every year that get drafted and even going undrafted, but they almost all of them go on to succeed on some level in the NFL. So in that sense, it's not irrelevant, and you know that the talent is always there, which leads to the conclusion that we have been plagued by bad coaching and to a lesser extent bad officiating for the past 15 years. When's the last time that Miami really fielded a legit football team that was perennially ranked top 10, top 15, even 2004, 2005? So that means that, when you look at the product, we went through the last couple of years of Larry Coker, which was kind of the beginning of the end. Then there was the horrible decisions made by the trustees, in terms of the Orange Bowl, even though the city offered to renovate the stadium, wrecking the Orange Bowl and moving to what is now Hard Rock Stadium, kind of destroying the program, its identity as we know it, up until 2002, the program as we knew it. And then, the Randy Shannon era, which was horrible. The incompetency. They didn't even have a meal plan for those guys, for those players during that era. Al Golden. Let's not even speak about that. The disappointments there. Even though Al Golden fielded some good offenses, man. Fish, he was a good coordinator, offensive coordinator. Just our defense was horrible. He held on to Dion Ofrino. I'm beginning to think now, considering that Al Golden's teams, they were able to put points on the board. The problem was the defenses was paper tigers. If Al Golden would have just, not trying to be a friend and would have fired D'Onofrio and hired a legit defensive coordinator that could field a good defense, maybe a Manny Diaz, Al Golden probably would still be the coach of the Miami Hurricanes right now. You know what? That's a controversial take, but you just look at the offenses that he fielded and the points that those guys were putting on the board. The problem with Al Golden's teams back in the day was up until they faced Clemson and got spanked 58-0. Those teams could always put points on the board. So what we have now, and then Mark Richt, which he built the indoor practice facility. We had that 1 year magic, and then one mediocre season and one really bad season. Manny Diaz, he's a first year coach, so I'm not ready to draw a conclusion on him yet. Nick Saban didn't do too great in his first year at Alabama. Okay, Bill Belichick didn't do too great at his first year as a Patriots head coach. All right, that's to be expected. New system, new scheme. Plus, he's got a freshman quarterback, freshman on the line, starting on the line. Um, the problem is this though: 0-2 for the first time in 40 years, and struggled against a UNC team, guys. Look, they're not going to be good this season. We struggled against them and lost to them. They're getting spanked by Wake Forest. And I'm not saying Wake Forest isn't legit, but it's Wake Forest, man. You know what I'm saying? Miami was expected to take the Coastal this year. Now, I don't think that's going to happen. So I just want to know, it's a hard pill to swallow, but what do you guys think? Are the Miami Hurricanes football team, not the brand, not what we've done in the NFL and the brand and so forth, but the football team, the product on the field, is it irrelevant? Because it hasn't been legit good in almost 15 years, man. I mean, like, legit good. Like, hey, these guys are going to end the season ranked in the top 10. Good. They're winning multiple bowl games every year. Good. You know what I mean? We haven't been that in a long time. It's a hard pill to swallow, man. But the talent is never there. I mean, the talent is never the issue. The talent is always there because we send guys to the league every year, and those guys flourish. Okay? So, and I was even thinking that, so I'm not going to name names, but there's players on the team that I'm thinking are overrated. But then I have to go back to the point that they might seem overrated now because it doesn't seem like some of the players that should be having breakout years are having a breakout year. But you know what's going to happen. Those guys are going to get drafted in the NFL, and they're going to go into a good system, most of them, and they're going to flourish. And some of them are going to go to the Pro Bowl, and some of them are going to contribute to championships on the next level. So that goes back to the point that I made in a couple of earlier videos, that coaching is everything. Because if you think Michael Jordan would have won all those rings without Phil Jackson, you're kidding yourself. If you think Kobe and Shaq would have won those rings without Phil Jackson, you're absolutely wrong. If you think D. Wade and LeBron, without the guidance of Phil Jackson and Eric Spoelstra, because he's underrated, would have won without coaching, no. Look at Bill Belichick and Nick Saban. Coaching and a coach being able to implement the right system and having the right coaches underneath them, carrying out the game plan, that is everything, man. That is everything. You know what I mean? So I hope that what we're seeing now is just Manny's first year figuring it out. You know what I'm saying? And then it'll progress and flourish. I really hope that Manny matures into a perennial bowl game winning, double-digit win season having coach. And I would love to see him win a national championship or two as the head coach of the Miami Hurricanes. But right now, you have to look at the numbers. You have to see it for what it is. We're talking since 2005, man. Maybe 2006 was the last year the Miami Hurricanes had a legit good football team. 2004, 2005, maybe? So, is it time for us to swallow that pill and come to the realization that yes, we're going to root for our team, we're going to love our team, but are they irrelevant as a team, as a product on the field? Not the brand, not the you, but for what they're putting out on the field at Hard Rock. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think, Canes fam? Let me know. Let me know. Because 0-2 for the first time in 40 years, that's saying a lot, man. We've had a lot of first-year coaches. We've had a coaching carousel at Miami, from Schnellenberger to Johnson to Erickson to Davis to Coker, all right, to Shannon to Golden to Richt, and now Diaz, and credit to Richt, he helped modernize the program. If anything, if he didn't do anything else, He modernized the program in terms of facilities. We play in a professional Super Bowl worthy stadium. Think about that. They can make fun of us, say we play in a rented stadium. That stadium's going to host a Super Bowl. It's a spectacular place to play. You know, that's an irrelevant issue that only the haters like to bring up. But that doesn't dictate whether or not you put a good product on the field. We have one of the best indoor practice facilities, one of the newest practice facilities in the country. You know, look, that's nothing. These kids are cut from the same cloth. They've been recruited from the same areas. Miami's been recruiting for the past 35 years, man. You know what I'm saying? 40 years. These Florida kids that come up in Florida high school with some other kids sprinkled in from other areas. It's coaching, man. So, again, one more time. Are the Canes irrelevant? In my heart of hearts, I want to say no, but the logic is telling me otherwise. And it doesn't question my loyalty as a fan. They're the only team that I root for, okay? I'm not jumping ship. I've been here all this time, you know what I'm saying, through the good and the bad. But let's ask ourselves this question, guys. Is it true? Y'all have a good one. Peace.